Welcome back to the Jackie Griffin Show. And we are joined on set by the lovely and beautiful Miss Jessica Corbin from the Patterson. The Patterson Project is featuring you. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I first came to Letty. Well, actually, she came to me years and years and years and kept saying, you know, Jessica, I think that you should model. I think that you should, you know, get out there and start putting your face out there because you have a lot to tell the people and, you know, like you have a lot going on in your art. Like I do art. I like drawing. I like painting, a children's book. And so I finally trusted her and her opinion to do it. Because I've known her for a very long time. I'm glad you guys got to meet her because she said that she would be in the background, but you saw her today, didn't you? So, anyway.
Tell us a little bit about Jessica.
I have ADD too, and I actually get very, very distracted.
That's okay. Tell us a little bit about Jessica.
Okay, about me. I was going to UMES for applied design, graphic illustrations, art. I only have about a year left. Still have to, you know, get out there and do that. It's actually helping me with the illustration of the children's book and other projects that I want to do, so I definitely want to do that. I like boxing. That's a hobby of mine. It makes me not want to punch people in the face that I don't like. And it's good. It's therapeutic. I think a lot of people should do that. Take up a sport that, well, actually that is pretty violent. It's not really that violent. But I think that people should take up sports, be active with yourself, and, you know, boxing, I love boxing. Football, don't really know much about it.
That's okay.
That's all I know.
What sports do you like besides boxing?
Boxing is my favorite. I mean, I played softball when I was younger.
Okay.
Second base. And I wasn't that good. So we're not even going to say that. I didn't play softball. I just played.
So where did you grow up?
I was good.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Salisbury. I was born in Chrisfield, but I was only there for a day, so I don't really count that. But I grew up in Salisbury with my father, which is a retired police officer and a veteran.
Awesome. So
my daddy. I love you, Dad.
You're a military brat. All right, I like that.
Yes.
All right. So how do you feel about the military?
I think that people that are in the military don't get enough respect. My father, when I was growing up, I had a little bit of anger because he wasn't there as much as I wanted him to be, but I also didn't understand that he was drafted into the Army, regardless of the situation, if they're drafted or not. That's a choice that they make to, you know, to basically fight for everybody's rights, and so I think they deserve a lot more respect. A lot of the projects that we have going on, we are going to be providing funds and donating to certain foundations, which we're still looking into the foundations, but one that I really would like to push for is, I think they have one in Connecticut. I think they need to have them in every state. It's where they donate for like the homeless veterans, and that's another thing that really upsets me. People talk about homeless people and about how they I see it on Facebook all the time, and the reason why I don't say anything or don't even comment is because I already know they're set in their opinion. They're passionate about, you know, what they think. They should never give a homeless person money. They should never, they shouldn't even be out on the street. They need to get a job, and if they can sit out there for 8 hours a day, then they can get up and they can go get a job. People, I don't think, they haven't been to the point where it hurts them so bad that they're compassionate about certain things in life that happen. Now me, I have been dealing with bipolar disorder, depression. They diagnosed me with intermittent explosive disorder. That's when you just flip out from 0 to 100. I think it's the people around me. It's not me. They need to be medicated, not me. So, I think that me going through that and understanding that it's not prejudice against anybody. regardless of what you look like or what you have. You can have all the money in the world. The things that are happening now, these people that they have these amazing jobs, but they have nobody to come home to.
Exactly.
You know, you can't sit there and look them in the face and tell them your life isn't that bad. A lot of people don't understand that. If you're not dealing with a mental disorder, or it doesn't even have to be a mental disorder, it could be a bad day.
Correct.
You know, it's certain things that you just don't say to people that it makes it worse. And I would like to raise awareness in that, so that I think it would save a lot of lives. I think
because you never know. That's why I always tell people a smile or a hug, even if somebody says something ugly to you, you really don't know where that's coming from. So instead of reacting to what they say, just wait and respond. And sometimes you know you'll calm down and then you respond to what is being said. And you are so correct. You do not know what's going on in a person's life. Never judge a book by a cover. Because sitting here, as gorgeous as you are, and as articulate as you are, and as talented as you are, you would never think that you have been diagnosed with the different things that you have been diagnosed with. And me, I really, really understand and have a profound respect for mental illness, and I do know that it's real. And my husband, he actually went to school and got his degree in psychology and started working in the mental illness field, mental health field, because he wanted to help soldiers when they come back, because he was a part of that initial Iraqi war, and he saw things that we probably will never, ever know about. And when he does talk about some of the things, you know, just to think that people have experienced war and experienced being here and could have not been here. You have no idea. We have no idea how that could make somebody feel. And so to minimize, you know, bipolar or minimize any type of mental health problems is just not right. You're not that person, so you do not know. Everybody does not react or respond the same way to putting in different situations.
exactly.
And so that's really why he wanted so badly to give back to his fellow soldiers and let them know, hey, I've been there, done that. I understand what you're going through. Let's work. Let's just try to find a solution for you. And so mental health, I know it's real. Mental illness, I know it's real. And not just for people that have been in the military, everyday people. We have a daughter, that our oldest daughter, she was diagnosed with ADHD, you know, which is hyperactivity disorder plus, you know, I mean, they just have all these labels, but I know it's real. But the thing about it is, people who are diagnosed with these different things, these are kids like you and others who have all this talent. You have all of this energy, and people don't know how to deal with it. Teachers don't know how to deal with it.
Don't.
So instead of trying to find ways to keep you guys motivated or keep your attention, I feel that they put labels on kids, too many labels. No, this kid might be a genius, and the work that you're giving to them might just be too easy. And so when everybody else is still working and these children are bored because they know the answers, you need to come up with something for those type of kids as well. And I don't think that we should have in a system where you teach one certain way. You need to know how to deal with every personality, because all those kids are different.
Visual and listening, and moving around, interacting.
And that kid should not be labeled because they're different. You need to find a different way to teach and reach that kid. So I totally applaud you for your efforts and everything that you're trying to do to raise attention to mental illness for the veterans, because you're right. We do not know. I personally feel that there should be no homeless people in the world, especially not veterans. They've gone out there and defended this country, and after all that they've sacrificed, they're living on the street, but we don't know their story. And you're right. I've oftentimes, you know, way back in the day, I would see people out there, and I would say, well, you know, just like you said, some people say, well, you know, they're out there all day long. They should go get a job. Over the years, as I've matured and understood life a little bit better, I don't know what their personal story is. I don't know what their situation is. So now when we see them out there, I even got my 6-year-old granddaughter doing it. She'll see them and she has compassion. we all should have that type of compassion as a child. She'll look around the car for change, and she'll just give him change.
Aww.
You know, my husband, he'll buy him, we'll buy him a meal or something like that, but we don't know their story, and really shouldn't care but 1 second, that could be us.
Oh yeah.
Any of us. And so I think if people would have that mindset, there will be a little bit more compassion for people that are going through anything and everything. But getting off of that soapbox of mine, back to Jessica. So what projects do you have coming up that you want our viewers to know about?
Well, I have a website that is in the making. I've been working on it for like 3 years. It's been a long time. I'm glad that I waited this long because I am still learning certain things, and I'm still networking, and I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. I have changed up what I want to do for so long, but now I think I know. And it's going to be products when they are embellished with Swarovski crystals. So I have little girls' hair bows and tutus, and then the book that I'm illustrating, I eventually want to come out with a line of my own so that it can have like the sight words for children, and you know, a way for them to learn. And I want to do that. I have a lot of stuff that I want to do. It's just so much.
That's okay.
But
you can do it.
I'm trying.
You can do it. It seems like you are doing it.
Yeah, a little bit.
It. So, tell us.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This is live, and I'm trying to.
It's okay. Be you. Please be yourself.
Oh.
I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying, right? But
I'm fine.
Jessica, I understand that you are dibbling and dabbling in modeling, and how's that going?
I just never thought I was the one to model because I'm really goofy. I don't take too many things serious at all. Reason being because I have dealt with a lot, and so for me to be serious, it's very hard because you know I just the depression and everything. It kind of makes you. When you're happy, you're happy. You're in it for the moment, and I never saw myself as something that would, I don't know. Modeling is just, it's fun, it's hard. I respect all the women that do it, the men, because it is hard. My body was sore. I didn't even work out, and I was like, oh my God, this is too much. So, it was good for me, though.
So tell us about modeling. You said your body was sore. I mean, what do you have to do to model? Most of us think you just have to stand in front of a camera.
No, they had me doing all these weird poses and stuff. It hurts. It hurts. It really hurts. And that's why I'm just like, whoa, like.
A lot of hours?
Yes. And then she feeds me this stuff that tastes horrible. My manager, yes. Baby food. Mashed up baby food. That's kind of what it tasted like this morning. But thank you.
And what is that for? For you to maintain your beautiful figure?
Yeah. Make my stomach a little flat. She said I couldn't wear the waist training corsets because they're really not good for you. I'm still going to wear it. Whoever has Instagram, you guys have, just message me. I'll order one.
So what are they? What are those?
They're like the little things that like suck in your stomach.
And they suck them in?
It's false advertisement, basically.
Oh, okay, so they don't work.
So never mind, I'm not even going to use it because people already know now that my stomach is not that flat. But anyway, yeah. I mean, hard work is good. I every now and then people like to cheat on certain things.
But that's okay. That's okay. And I want to ask you about the artistic side of you because I have a daughter who, when she was young, and she still does, she just doodles. She loves drawing, and she says that really relaxes her.
Oh, yes. It is so therapeutic. I was just telling somebody about it. Like, when people that have mental disorders, and if they did a study, which they probably have, artists, most likely they have several mental disorders. It's the fact that, like, in all my general studies, like, I did horrible because you have to actually sit there and focus. And just like you said before about the different learning techniques, I cannot sit still. I can't sit there and listen to you talk because after 5 minutes, I don't even remember your name. Like, I want to be drawing, and I would get in trouble for sitting there, you know, drawing on the paper, but I was listening to them. But I just needed to, like, focus on, like, you know, easing my mind so that I could actually listen to them. And they'd be like, stop drawing on the paper. We don't need all these little things. And like, I'm just like, okay. So everything would go in one ear and out the other. I couldn't hear, but I just wasn't listening to them. It wasn't that I didn't want to learn. It's just that's how my mind worked. It was always racing with other thoughts and visions and ideas. So when I would go to art class, I would get A's, straight A's. I was really good, except for the history part. That, whoa. Not going to tell you the grade in that, but that's because I had to sit there and literally read from a book. And we didn't get up. We didn't do activities, you know, like it was just, and I did horrible. So, but if you can sit and just focus and let your mind wander but still accomplish something at the end of the day, it makes you feel great because you actually did something. So that is...
Now see, that right there is a teachable moment, and right there what you just said. And I think that your story, and once it's being, you know, you go around and people hear it, and hopefully it will help inspire some of the teachers that we have out there, or just people that are dealing with kids, period, to understand that just because that kid is doing this or that does not mean that they're not teachable or they don't want to learn. It's just their personality and the way they go about processing information and doing certain things. And so you have a great story, and you keep doing what you're doing and keep being who you are.
Thank you.
Another area, tell us about some other areas that you're just so passionate about.
Children. I love children. I have a little girl. She's 6.
Oh.
She is a handful. I'm still trying to understand her. She's like me, except wow, you know what they say.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yes, wow. But her kid or her friends, they always come over and play. And I never really go out that much. I am always in the house. I like being in the house. The kids, we always do little activities and stuff. I'm compassionate about it because when I grew up, I didn't really do that many things with my friends. I didn't really go that many places. And so for her to have a little social life with her friends when she's younger and build up friendships, you know, I want her to have that. I want her to experience that. So I'm passionate about teaching children, mainly about like daily life things. Certain things bother me. When I went to my daughter's school, I noticed so many things within the first 20 minutes. I was actually just going to drop her off and leave, but she wanted me to stay. So I stayed, and I went to the cafeteria, and it was, I don't know how many kids were in there. It had to be like over 100, I don't know. And I saw so many kids with their shoes untied. I mean, it was at least like 30, and I'm looking like, oh God, like it kind of made me wonder, like the teachers, and don't worry, I'm not going to say the school, but I know this is at every school. It is at every school. The fact that the teachers and the staff, everybody, you sit there and you watch all those children walk by with their shoes untied, even though it's something little and so I'm sitting there and eating I'm like, come here, let me tie your shoe, let me tie your shoe. Maybe the teacher should just send a little note home and tell them, you know, your child's shoes are untied. They don't know how to tie them. Either teach them how to tie them or get them some Velcro shoes. But then again, the parents today are going to take offense to that. And then they're going to say, oh, well, why are you telling me about my child? Just listen. You either put Velcro shoes on the child or you learn to teach your child how to tie their shoe. My baby knows. I don't even know how she learned, for real. Because do you know what I did? I sat there, and there's like, I made this little Converse thing, right? I put it on Instagram. It was so cute. But you know how they have the things where you can like tie the shoe? It's like just like a little page or something, like a little board. So they didn't have name brand. I made Converse for her. And I drew it out, and I poked the little holes, you know, and I did the thing. And I was like, Layla, here, you can learn how to tie your shoe. And she was like, I don't even know how to tie my shoe. And I was like, oh man, for real? Who taught you how to tie it? Oh my gosh, that was really good. I feel bad that I didn't know that, but that was good. That was like a year ago.
You got yourself a smart one.
Yes,
genius.
she's a little too smart. Yeah, she told the children that I had beer. I was hiding beer in my purse, and I was not. I don't drink beer. Barely.
I knew that was coming. We're talking about that before the break. But also, what are some of the projects that you have coming up that you want our viewers to know about so they can actually support you?
I have the calendar coming out. That's probably the first thing that is actually going to be out, because all the other projects coming are, it's a lot more steps than what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
So
Where can they get it?
they can get it. Where can they get it? What? I don't know. And yes, it is live, but I need her to answer a question. Facebook.
You
Yes.
can get the calendar off of Facebook.
Facebook.
Okay. Okay. What is your Facebook handle?
My Facebook handles, well, my manager handles that, but it
Okay.
does. I like to put inspirational things up
Mm-hmm.
for people that are dealing with things. Just like when I made the Facebook post about,
Yes.
me dealing with depression and bipolar disorder, a lot of people didn't know that. Even my close friends, they didn't know that I was dealing with that because I hide it very well.
Correct.
But also, I didn't have a support system because I was dealing with it all by myself.
Right.
And there were plenty of times where I just felt like I couldn't go on any longer because it stresses you out, your body's just exhausted from it, and you don't have anybody to talk to. So if there's other people out there, then I think a lot of people should be more accepting of people with mental illnesses, and if we can raise the awareness of it, then they'll understand it. You can't be compassionate about something you know absolutely nothing about.
Correct.
The reason why I'm compassionate about it is because I know I've been through it. If somebody is canceling plans on me 10 times in a row, I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to say, oh my God, you know what, I'm not planning anything else with you, and you're not even my friend because you never want to show up to anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to understand because they're probably dealing with something. Maybe you
Right.
have anxiety. Maybe you just can't do it. Maybe you have other problems at home. If
Correct.
people opened up their eyes more and understood somebody's situation and took the time instead of talking down on them, the world would be a better place.
So what was that turning point for Jessica? How did you recognize that you had the disorders, and what treatment did you seek out? How did you get help for it?
Well, after I had my daughter, I noticed that at first they tried to tell me that it was postpartum. Like I was crying all the time. I was like so stressed out, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's because I have a child. Maybe I'm just worried about anything that happens to her.
Correct.
And after a week or two, I was still really just worried about everything. I had anxiety. I didn't want to go out the house. When I would drive, I would think people were about to cut me off, and just the littlest things.
Right.
And it stressed me out, and it made me not want to be around anybody. I just wanted to be home. And so then, I went back to the doctor. I told them what I was experiencing. They said, at that time it was past a year. So they said, you have depression. You're dealing with depression.
Mm-hmm.
So it was hard for me to even deal with that because I've always been so happy. I've always
Right.
tried to bring the positive out of every situation. And then there I was being negative about everything. And I mean, I lost close friends, which they're actually still my friends to this day. They actually, when I came out and told them what I was dealing with, they understood and they respected me for it, and they were my support system.
Awesome.
So that's when I really, it sunk in, and they put me on medication, and the medication helped for a little bit. It takes a while. I want people to know that you can't give up. Like that. Some people, it's hard to know that they either have to be on medication or they have to go to therapy. A lot of people are embarrassed by it, and they think people are going to talk bad about them. But like you were saying earlier before, you can't think of what other people say about you, and that for the longest time was the thing that was killing me. People are going to think I'm a weak person, and the thing is, if you're dealing with something like that, you're not weak at all.
Exactly.
Weak people, they are the ones that end up just giving up. And I want people to realize that they're strong for even going through it and making
Correct.
it this far
Correct.
to where you need to continue. Like, you didn't come this far for nothing.
That's
Giving
right.
up is easy. And the fact that people say it's selfish when people commit suicide, that hurts. That hurts and you really can't say that to somebody that felt suicidal. Some of these medications, you do need to tell your doctor that you need to switch or get off of them because they have those symptoms.
Exactly.
It's not just you thinking, oh my God, I hate my life, it's just so horrible. You know, it could be a complication with medication. It could be the depression that's hitting you and a bunch of stuff. So I just wish a lot of people understood more. But hopefully they listen and they hear me and they look into it. I tell people, when I try to tell certain people, they really don't want to listen to it. No, it's all in your mind. And I'm like, woohoo, where's my boxing bag? Because no, it's not. It's not always in someone's mind. Some of it, yes, it is, and it's manageable. But chemical imbalances, you know, it has a lot to do with science, and it's a whole bunch of other things that some people, if you haven't been through it,
You don't understand.
they shouldn't speak on it.
Exactly. So, in closing this segment out, look into the camera and just speak your heart to our viewers.
I love you guys. I really do. Follow me on Facebook, Jessica Corbin, and my Instagram, at jcorb87.
Thank you so much for being on the show today. You're beautiful, funny. You're very talented, and like you said, nobody knows, so don't judge, and don't be afraid to continue in each and every one of your dreams. I'm glad you have so much left on your plate. That means that you're going to be here a long time doing great things. Thank you. I appreciate it, and thank you for having me, and thank you for my dream team, Caritza. We'll be right back with the Jackie Griffin Show.